Big surprise here. The Destiny community is not happy, and not even a 15th wish from Bungie can make that mood go away. Tweets like, "This is going to be a rough 7 months." Reddit posts like, "New Eververse items almost completely silver exclusive." And Steam reviews that say, "Big time sink and make me very angry." More posts about business of the season more than the season's content itself. More targets on Bungie's back than a single season can really fix. So I want to answer, is the season really that bad? And why is the Destiny community not happy? Let me lay out the facts and the reality of what Season of the Wish for now is all about, and let you decide if it's worth your time or if it's something you want to come back to later. If you guys are new here or old, come by my Discord. I just revamped it and I want to talk to more of you guys. I've made it so anyone who's a sub to my Twitch channel has an exclusive channel where we chat about video ideas, fun streams, giveaways, and you get a permanent merch discount. And I just want to hang and game with more people. I'll be live on EvanF1997 this Friday at Twitch for the dungeon for anyone who wants to stop by. It felt necessary to talk about this stuff since I don't make videos super often, but it's still important. The reason this is extra conflicted is that the Season of the Wish dropped with an unexpected path. It's all the factors going into the season that hurts it the most, because everything will be in a microscope more than ever, and no matter how good Season of the Wish could be, it'll never be good in the current state of Bungie. We had layoffs, we had revenue targets being missed, and potential delays. And then the season post with promotional art gets released, and I wanted that trailer, baby. Follow my Twitter, or X, by the way. Then a delay of Final Shape gets announced with Joe Blackburn not even an hour later. Then he says that he wants the team to make sure Final Shape is the best possible. So dev time is on the Final Shape, full stop, to be a banger. Hell yeah. Let's go Final Shape. I'm hyped now. Then Joe announces that new stuff is coming before Final Shape next year.
But ultimately, we're trying to get towards April and May. We're going to be talking about a new period of Destiny we're calling Destiny 2 Into the Light. But this is really built not only for the folks that have played Destiny for 5,000 hours, but also for your friends, for your family, for people that are just getting into Destiny and want to prepare for the Final Shape. We're really excited about the content and rewards that are coming in this.
Which tells me that the higher-ups can't let some time rest before releasing something special. And you only get one Final Shape, higher-ups. So players are left in this weird purgatory of not liking Destiny the business and seeing Destiny the community and game get ripped apart by this business. Because say what you want, but Destiny's community is still one of the best. It's just been through so much corpo shit the past couple of years. So we jump forward to release day for the impressions of the new season. And that came with a $15 starter pack. An absolute slap in the face.
Oh, the starter pack? Like, what a great start to the season.
The starter pack is so funny. I don't know why, like, saying the starter pack makes it funnier. How tone deaf are you, Corpo Bungie? This is atrocious. Exotics that people can get very quick for the same price as a full season. And now, of all times, when you are being called a monetization hell, you drop this. Dado even went off about this one.
All of it. Who in the thought this would bring any good publicity to the game? This does not build goodwill. This does not build faith. This reads horribly.
The tags on this for Steam are really funny too. As Jingleheimer pointed out on Twitter, just so everyone knows, Destiny 2's Legacy Collection is on sale for $16. This includes the Witch Queen, Beyond Light, and Shadowkeep, 37 exotics, 15 exotic armor pieces, and you get stasis. This starter pack is just greed. It also doesn't help that for the same price as the Witcher armor sets you can get in Eververse, you can buy the entire Witcher collection that has so much content that Joseph Anderson still hasn't released his Witcher 3 review, and the Witcher 2 video was 5 hours long. It's made worse when you think that these could have been an insane Iron Banner crossover set. I know that these are par for the course of Destiny shenanigans, but with all the recent news, this is how you get people to actively criticize your game. And I think that's why my first impressions before I slept on them were pretty negative. I gave the first impression a 3 out of 10 for the season's content. But with more to come, and honestly compared to other seasons, I think the seasonal content and not the updates to the sandbox and systems part is really more like a 5 out of 10. Now, the community reception isn't good. This is the lowest day one of a season since Destiny hit Steam. And with an all-time high player count Lightfall drew in, how did we hit an all-time low in less than a year with new releases going into the final year? Keep that in mind, and just know, however you or I feel about the content itself in the season, people are not happy. Let me ask you this, viewer watching this before bed or on the toilet right now. Really deep think on this one if you played the season. Is the Season of the Wish really that much worse than last year's seasons? Does it do anything worse than others for you? Because for me, it felt exactly like a normal season. Maybe a little worse in some ways, and a little better in others. And that's not a good thing for the final season of the year. Typically past seasons like Seraph and Lost and Arrivals have always been really good. And if you're Bungie, you want your player base to be full throttle grinding and hyped to go into the final year of this 10-year journey. Just keep that in mind when you're thinking about the season. I won't be talking about the dungeon since that's not seasonal content and not out yet. Okay, see you on Friday. We got 3 activities dropped early, with a story 4th pseudo activity coming in December for an exotic quest and other loot. One of these activities is Riven's Lair, a 3-player run and gun activity that is mostly generic seasonal stuff to grind loot. But what I actually like is that you can go at your own pace with no health gates. Thank God. I am so sick of health gates. We also got the Coil, the exact same activity as Riven's Lair. What? It's the exact same activity as Riven's Lair. One is a one-time run that feels very easy and generic, while the Coil keeps building on roguelike activities. I really like the roguelike setting of Coil, and I like that it doesn't pull any punches, but why are these the same activity twice? Anyways, Coil is great for those who like loot. You can zoom through the roguelike elements with power-ups to eventually beat bosses that get exponentially harder. The challenge was appreciated, as the bosses kept coming and the traps were also very appreciated. But I gotta say, with all this in mind, weapon crafting is holding activities like this one back badly. Getting loot is amazing, and the amount with little secret chests and moats for more power-ups is great. But the crafting system makes me yet again want to dismantle weapons or be disappointed in the drop until I get a red. If you like this, then that's cool. But crafting is holding these activities back, since the God roll will come in just a few weeks of edging my loot. Bungie really needs to commit to crafting fully on every single aspect and make it fully fleshed out, or just remove it. What do you guys think? Drop me a comment. The Destiny community is also not happy because the story is pretty lame. The 15th wish is being told in this week-by-week story that is just chase Riven's eggs. And this wish just magically popped out a new wish wall symbol when it was convenient for the plot. 14 of these were found organically around the world, in some really hard to spot places with all sorts of fan theories. I'm fearful this magic mystery will be lost to a holoprojector expository dialogue, and I cannot get down with that at all. Bungie's self-obsession with this story blows my mind, when the best parts that everyone remembers in Destiny are told through its environmental narrative and world building. I don't want to clock into Destiny to be told what's going on in the story and not experience it myself, and then be told to come back next week. Let the player discover the secrets, and you'll have unforgettable moments again, Bungie. Also, if there is a puzzle for the 15th wish that is organic, then that's great. But as this stands in its current iteration, I'm not a fan, and I don't blame anybody else who doesn't like this. Bungie dropped us into the blind well for the story, which is the biggest sucker punch mollywop to the face that has ever existed. There is no way we should be doing blind well to supplement seasonal content. when that activity came out in 2018. I can see the devil's advocate saying, well, at least they're updating older content. But it's not even an update. There's no new bosses, the enemies just got a higher health pool, and there's a bunch of loot in the final chest. It just blows my mind. Speaking of loot, that leaves us with it. And I gotta say, this season is pretty lazy. There's no new exotic armor, which I'm just not a fan of. The exotic seasonal weapon shouldn't be called Dragon's Breath. It's really good, but it has nothing to do with the original Dragon's Breath. The other exotic weapons are, well, there's the strand bow next month and something from the dungeon, again, not seasonal. Legendary wise, other than that very lazy, not even shaded in Imperial Needle reskin with the arrow still being blue and gold, I actually kind of like some of the legendaries here. We have some fun variants of weapons I could see for build potential, but not really for endgame rating, which is where I spend a lot of my time. These aren't always going to be for me, and I think power creeping has done a lot of damage that makes me still want to use weapons that are older because they just are insane. But the more time I spent with these weapons, the more I wanted to use them. And they are seasonal, they're meant to be grinded in an activity made to be sunset, so what can I really expect? Crafting still makes it a chase for reds, then get out. And I wish it was a balance of crafting and chasing god rules to some degree. I really like the Stasis Trace Rifle, I'm happy that it's finally here. The Strand Rapid Fire Frame Fusion is really cool, and some of the more nuanced perks has made me experiment. Other than this, there are a lot of system revamps. Bungie actually claims to have fixed higher damage taken and given when you're at higher frames. That's a big win. The Return of the Dreaming City PvP map is here, and a lot of Eververse bundles. I said earlier, if this season was really any different from last year, the answer is no, not really. But this time, it matters a lot more to people. And no matter what Bungie does, if it's business interests first and not the players, they will be in a microscope. Bungie, wake the fuck up. This season, as it stands, and with nothing new outside of a dungeon that I don't normally count as seasonal content, for this Season of the Wish holding the standard of the end of the year seasons that are usually pretty great, Wish is mediocre at best. Now, I do have a theory, and this is a very far-fetched one. Into the Light could have been with the season at launch, since it seems like something pretty bulky, but is now pushed back because of the delay. Maybe that's why it feels like the gap between content is much larger, or that Into the Light feels like something that came out of nowhere. But man, this is more of the same, and worse in ways. Better in others though. But Bungie, you just can't afford mistakes. The clock is ticking on the final shape, and the community is not happy. I'll see you guys on Friday for the dungeon if you're coming to the stream. The next video is going to be the dungeon video. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.